Hallo und willkommen zum 5. Video von 3 Minuten Deutsch. Today I'm going to be talking about one of the things that will become the bane of your existence as a German language learner, and that is the German genders of nouns. As I mentioned in the video about er, sie, and es, which you can see here, there are 3 grammatical genders in German. Masculine nouns are der, feminine nouns are die, neuter nouns are das. This makes sense if you're talking about people and objects. So for instance, der Mann, the man, die Frau, the woman, das Haus, the house. This becomes a little bit less helpful though when you start talking about inanimate objects. So for instance, tables are masculine, but doors are feminine. So there are some tips that I can give you to help you along the way. Let's start with the masculine nouns. There are some things that are always masculine. Obviously, if it's a person and that person is masculine, that person then is going to be a masculine noun as well. So this works for things like der Mann, der Junge, der Arzt, der Lehrer, and so on. In addition to the obvious things, you also have days of the week, months, and seasons that are always masculine. Also, directions on a compass and precipitation types also are all masculine every single time. For example, der Montag, der Januar, der Frühling, der Norden, der Regen, and so on. For feminine nouns, you also have the same obvious options. If it's a female, then it's obviously going to be a feminine noun. So for instance, die Frau, die Ärztin, die Lehrerin, and so on. Be careful though, because there's the word das Mädchen, which translates as the girl, but because of the diminutive chen, which I'll talk about here in a minute, that makes this automatically neuter. There are also certain suffixes that will always be used with feminine nouns. The most common ones would be heit, kite, tät, schaft, These are always going to be feminine, no exceptions. So for example, die Freiheit, die Gemütlichkeit, die Universität, die Wohnung, die Gemeinschaft, etc. Generally speaking, if a noun ends in an E, it will also be feminine, but there are a bunch of exceptions to this rule. So keep in mind that if it ends in an E, more than likely it's feminine, but it may not be as well. Neuter nouns are a little bit more difficult to pin down. There are some rules though for things that are always neuter. Anything that ends in lein or chen is automatically neuter. These things are known as diminutives, which means that it makes things smaller or it makes things less important. So for instance, we have the word die Magd, which is an older word for maid. When you add the suffix chen to the end of that word, you end up with the word Mädchen, which means girl. But it's das Mädchen because it ends in chen. Your assignment for this video is to leave a comment down below how you keep the genders of German nouns straight in your head. How do you differentiate between which ones? How do you go about learning this vocabulary? And help each other out in the comments down below so that you can each give each other more tips. That's all I've got for today. Danke fürs Zuschauen. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss.